Manor Farm was a mess. Animals overworked, food scarce. Farmer Brown, he just laughed. Cows mooed sadly. Chickens clucked in fear. Life was hard. Old Bessie, a wise cow, had enough. She'd seen it all. Years of mistreatment. No respect for animals. She dreamt of a better life, a life of freedom. One night, Bessie snuck away, met with the other animals, whispers under the moonlight, fear hung in the air. Old Bessie, we deserve better. Her words sparked a fire. The animals, tired and abused, listened intently. This was their chance. A chance for change, a chance for freedom. No more tyranny. The dawn of a new day brought with it a sense of hope and defiance. The animals had been oppressed for too long, and today they would take a stand. Old Bessie, the wise and determined cow, led the charge. No more tyranny, she bellowed, her voice echoing across the fields. The other animals rallied behind her, their spirits lifted by her courage. The barn shook with the force of their determination. Animals stomped their feet in unison, creating a thunderous sound. They were with her, united in their cause. The revolution had begun, and there was no turning back. Meanwhile, Farmer Brown slept soundly in his cozy bed, completely unaware of the rebellion brewing just outside his window. He had no idea that his world was about to be turned upside down. The animals stormed his house with a fierce determination. Mooing, clucking, and oinking filled the air, creating a cacophony of sound. He woke up startled, his heart pounding. Farmer Brown. "What's happening?" he exclaimed, bewildered. Brown ran outside in his pajamas, his mind racing. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. The animals he had always controlled were now in control. Animals surrounded him, their eyes blazing with anger and determination. They had had enough of his tyranny and were ready to take back their freedom. He'd never seen them like this. Fear gripped his heart as he realized the gravity of the situation. These were no longer just farm animals. They were revolutionaries. Brown had no choice. He fled the farm that night, his heart heavy with fear and regret. Never to return, he left behind the life he had known. The animals had won. Their freedom was hard-earned, and they celebrated their victory. The future was uncertain, but for now they roamed freely, basking in the dawn of a new era.
With Brown gone, joy erupted. Animals danced in the fields, sang songs of liberation. The farm felt alive. Hope filled the air. New rules were established. All animals are equal. The most important rule: no more hierarchy, no more exploitation. They would work together. The harvest that year was bountiful. Everyone shared the food. Everyone had enough. The animals had never been happier. Their dream had come true. For a while, things were perfect. But power is a tricky thing. It can corrupt even the purest heart. The pigs, they started to change. The animals, too tired to fight, accepted their fate. Their hope dwindled. They had fought so hard for their freedom, but now it seemed like a distant dream. The energy that once fueled their rebellion was now replaced by a deep sense of resignation. Their freedom, once so promising, was gone. The fields that once symbolized hope and prosperity now lay barren and desolate. The barnyard, once bustling with activity, was eerily silent, replaced by another form of tyranny. The padlocks and barbed wire fences were stark reminders of their lost liberty. Dark clouds loomed over the barn, casting a shadow on their once bright future. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others, declared Napoleon, the leader of the pigs. His voice was commanding, and the other animals listened in silence, too afraid to question his authority. His words dripped with venom. The cunning expression on his face revealed his true intentions. He was not a leader of equality, but a dictator in disguise. The pigs, sly and cunning, took charge. They moved with purpose, their dominance evident in every step they took. They had a plan, and they were executing it flawlessly. They were the smartest, they claimed. Their intelligence was their justification for taking control. They believed they were superior, and they made sure the other animals knew it. The animals, naive and trusting, agreed. They looked up to the pigs, believing their promises of a better future. They gathered around, hanging on to every word, not realizing the trap they were falling into. They didn't see the danger. Their innocent expressions and peaceful demeanor showed their lack of awareness. They were oblivious to the sinister plans unfolding around them. Slowly, things started to shift. Pigs took more food, slept in the farmhouse. The privileges they granted themselves grew, and the disparity between them and the other animals became more apparent. The other animals worked tirelessly. Their voices were silenced. They toiled day and night, their hard work benefiting only the pigs. Their dreams of equality were shattered. One by one, the original rules were broken. The commandments that once guided them were now just faded memories. The pigs rewrote the rules to suit their needs, and the farm's original ideals were lost forever. Manor Farm looked the same. Animals still worked tirelessly, day in and day out, as if nothing had changed. The fields were plowed, the barns were maintained, and the routines were followed with mechanical precision. But the joy was gone. The spark that once lit their eyes had faded, replaced by a dull, lifeless stare. The laughter and camaraderie that once filled the air were now distant memories, replaced by fear and obedience. The animals moved with a sense of resignation, their spirits broken by the harsh realities of their new existence. The pigs had become the new masters. They strutted around with an air of superiority, their dominance unquestioned and their authority absolute. Old Bessie watched it all unfold. Her eyes, once filled with hope, now reflected a deep sorrow. She had seen the rise and fall of dreams, and the bitter taste of betrayal lingered. Her heart, heavy with regret, she wondered if the sacrifices they had made were worth it. If the blood, sweat, and tears had been in vain. Had their revolution been in vain? The question haunted her, a constant reminder of the fragility of their victory. Had they merely replaced one oppressor with another? The hierarchy was clear, and the power dynamics had shifted, but the oppression remained. The answer was a painful truth. The revolution had not brought the freedom they had hoped for, but a new form of tyranny. Freedom is not a destination. It's a constant struggle, a battle that must be fought every day, with vigilance and determination. Vigilance, she realized, is the price of liberty. It requires unwavering commitment and the courage to stand up against injustice. As the sun set on Manor Farm, casting long shadows across the fields, Bessie felt a glimmer of hope. The darkness was not absolute. Bessie knew this was not the end. The fight for a better future would continue, driven by the unyielding spirit of those who believed in true freedom. The fight for freedom never truly ends. It is a journey, a collective effort that requires unity and perseverance. It continues, one heartbeat at a time, each pulse a reminder of the resilience and strength that lies within.